Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. This is purely just a recent comic haul. Picked up a bunch of stuff over the last 3 to 4 weeks, just from random places. Actually, probably longer than that. It's probably realistically like the last 2 to 3 months, if I'm being honest. Got a bunch of stuff to go through, some cool issues, cool covers, and a couple maybe undercover spec books that people aren't thinking of or have kind of fallen off the radar a little bit. All right, first we'll get started. We got Y the Last Man, number 50. Getting close to the final issue on that. Well, this one is, but it's just such an awesome cover. If you haven't read this, highly suggested reading. No particular order. Ghost Rider, Trail of Tears, number 1. Awesome Clayton Crane series and cover, but that one's pretty sweet. This is the final issue of Y the Last Man. I haven't actually finished this series yet, so I'm kind of excited to read this, but these are all dollar bin finds, so they're still out there. Look for them. Awesome Wolverine number 50 variant edition, so wraparound cover. Open it up so you can kind of see it a little bit better. Ooh, there we go. Cool Wolverine Sabretooth battle. Ultimate Fantastic Four number 1. Everyone knows that Marvel Zombies came from this run essentially, but this one you can still find for like $4. I lucked out and found it for $1. I'll raise it into the camera and everyone will get excited, but then it won't be what you think it is. Yeah. Ultimate Fallout issue 1. Everyone wants 4, obviously, but you come across these every once in a while. Can't hurt to pick them up, especially for $1. Ultimate Spider-Man number 98. This one's gone up recently. This is probably like a $10 book now, 10 to 15 bucks, somewhere like that. You'll probably find it in that price range. It's got a few spine takes on it, but you know, decent. I pick those up whenever I find them. It's X-Men number 30, the wedding issue in that second run with all the awesome Jim Lee goodness, but it's the Andy Kubert cover. But the cool part about this one is didn't get the little weird Fleer insert torn out like so many of them did. And super uncommon to find a newsstand in the early 90s, most of the time like that. So, yeah, there's that one. This is one that probably went up and then went down, but this is really uncommon. It's a mid-grade copy, but Darkhold number 16 is probably one to look out for. It's the final issue in the run. The print run on this I think was super low because no one was really reading it. But if you see it, pick it up because it consistently sells for like $10, especially if you can find it in dollar bin like I did. But might even go up more once more of the Darkhold stuff is introduced. Oblivion Song, number 1. I've been looking for this book for a super long time. This one is kind of beat up. You can probably see some of the spine ticks on it, but for $1 you can't pass it up, especially with that pink signature on there. So, I mean, that's a $15 to $20 book in the condition it's in right now. In a 9.8, it's much more. If you haven't read this series, this is one to read as well. It's an awesome, amazing story. Robert Kirkman did it, and it is like made for a show. Think Tank number 1. This has been optioned. This is ready to go whenever they're writing it or whatever. I haven't read it. I just knew that it had been optioned and wanted to check it out, especially for $1. And here's a super undercover one. And if you can find it, because grab it, because the print run on it is pretty low. War of the Realms New Agents of Atlas #1, but the second printing of it. And I was stoked to find that for $1. #1 has gone up in price recently. Everyone wants #2 because it has all those first appearances in it. But #1, regular #1, first printing has gone up in price. And the second printing, I think, is a really, really low print run. I don't think this is listed on Key Collector or anything like that as, you know, a book that's on the rise, or even listed or spec'd on or anything like that. But I think this one is one to keep your eyes out for, because I think people are going to start searching out a lot of those characters. All right, here's another big stack. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, picked out 2 issues of The Boys on Wildstorm, 6 and 7. So these are ones to keep your eyes out for. I don't remember if this is, one of these is the first appearance of Stormfront. I think that it is. I don't remember. But anyways, hard to pass up for $1. These are mid-grade. There's a few spine ticks on each one, but you know, can't really get mad at that. I got a bunch of issues of Gwar, Orgasmageddon, #1. I believe this is cover A. Cover B. Just the line work one, the sketch one. I don't know if that's the colored virgin variant of it as well. Those are all $1. These consistently sell for $10 on eBay all day. Gwar has a rabid fan base. If you don't know who Gwar is, look it up. They're the funniest band in metal for sure, or thrash, or whatever subgenre you want to call them. But hands down, top 3 live shows that I've ever seen in my life. Funnest time, one of the funnest times I've ever had at a concert. Check them out. And I don't know anything about that book, but I know that, you know, their fan base is rabid and they consume everything that they put out. I picked up a bunch of copies of Vigilante, pretty high grade. These are all $1 a piece. And with the recent boom of Vigilante's character on Peacemaker, seems kind of like a no-brainer. Won't be selling any of these. These go straight to my daughter because she loves the character so much. But man, they had some of the coolest covers. I just like, you know, you don't pay any attention to those older books, and then you start to look through them, and some of the art on them is so cool. This next one is awesome. How's that for like a, what is that, negative space variant? Oh, that one's cool. I like this one a lot, and the following one. Great. This one's one of my favorite, I think, in the run. It's just so well done. I'm a sucker for anything pink on the cover too, or a whole pink cover. And then #2. This one's great as well. 22. 22? Yeah, 22. It's awesome. This next one I have never seen before in my life. People who like Lobo love Lobo. This is Lobocop. And it even says it up in the corner there. Frag parody. I've never seen it before. Super high grade. Seems like if Lobo hits, which he should because he's such an awesome character, this would be one that's harder to find. Keep your eyes out for it. I'll have to check the print run because I don't think doesn't seem very common. You know, everyone's hunting. You'd see something mentioned about it. I don't think so. I don't think it's very high. Marvel Frontier. So this is like a UK imprint of Marvel, and this is Children of the Voyager. It's just such an awesome cover. So such cool art on the cover. I know my daughter would love this one. I don't know if she's looked at it yet or not. But the coolest part about it is it's embossed. It's hard to see probably can't, you definitely can't see it through there, but it's just a whole bunch of parts of the skull are raised. It's really cool. And the fingernails even, it's weird. Dune the second part is filming. So this seems like a no-brainer too. I got a direct and newsstand copy of this. Also, Bill Sienkiewicz did the covers on these, and anything he does, I pretty much buy. But this seemed like a no-brainer. They could use a cleaning and a pressing. But they're pretty high grade. They're 9.0 and above for sure. So I'll probably end up keeping one of them and selling the other. Haven't read this. Haven't heard anything about it. Wretches #1. It's from Scout. I just know it's like, you know, a $5 to $10 book. But people seem to like it just from the sales. So pick it up. This is a super, super interesting one, and one that you definitely don't come across very often. I lucked out. It's mid-grade, high mid-grade. This is Comico Primer #5. This is Sam Keith's first published work. Max the Hare. It doesn't have any relationship to the Max that he did later on, which is like his most notable character that he created and drew. But keep your eyes out for that one. That one's not common. You don't see it. I just was like, that's so weird. I have to look it up. And then I looked it up and I was like, wow. That's routinely in mid-grade. It's a $40 to $50 book, something like that. Avengers Forever #3, but the second print. The background's a different color. This is the first female Moon Knight, which isn't the first female Moon Knight. The first female Moon Knight's in Manifest Destiny #1, 2090, or Manifest Destiny 2099 #1. Technically, to be released, that's the first female Moon Knight, but this in alternate Earth is the first female Moon Knight. But the second print, I didn't even know this was going to second print. I knew the first print was popular, so saw that. Horror fans from the 80s will recognize this one. This was one of my favorite horror movies growing up as a kid. It's Puppet Master #1. I've been looking for a high grade copy of this one for a long time just because I love the movies and the character. I'll probably eventually get that graded, but it's pretty pristine. It has one little tick, but I think it'll press out, so hopefully. I don't think there's much worth to it, but, you know, horror fans looking for that one. This is my daughter's, one of her favorite Spider-Man characters. So this just came out recently, Spider-Punk #1. And if you haven't read this and you are into punk music at all, 100% go buy it and read it, because it's #1 hilarious, and #2 like gives a lot of credit to like punk band history and stuff like that. I'm eagerly awaiting #2. I don't know if #2 is out yet. It might be, but I'm eagerly awaiting it. It's an awesome, awesome book. Dark Horse Presents #51 is, see down here in the corner, Marv from Sin City. This is not the first appearance of Sin City characters or anyone from Sin City, but this is the first publishing in Dark Horse Presents of Sin City stories. So this is a sneaky book too. You might flip past it all the time in the dollar bins, but it's a $10 book. You know, people who love Sin City, they want this one in their collection, so keep your eye out for it. I see it all the time. This is a new one too. It's Rock and Roll Comics. Lemmy. I'm sure it's just a one shot. I haven't opened it yet to check it out, but it's basically a story of Lemmy's life. If you love heavy music, rock, punk, thrash, all that stuff, I'd pick that one up. That's pretty cool. I got 2 of these because I'm gonna grade one of them, and it should be a 9.8 because it's perfect condition, and this is like one of my good friends' favorite artists ever, so he'll be getting that for his birthday. He won't see this, I'm sure. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight #1, book you find everywhere, but they printed 4 different colors of them, and some of them for me have eluded me for a super, super long time, which are the orange cover and the yellow cover. They also did like a cyan, like that blue, mid-blue color, and a pink cover, but I think they call it red. And there's kind of variances on each one too. I don't know how many printings they did, but they did all of them. And now I have all 4. So I'm stoked about that because I've loved this cover since this book came out. Last but not least, at least for this video, is Moon Knight Annual. Number 1, it's a one-shot. I'm excited to read it. I've been looking for this for a long time. I did this cover. It's pretty awesome. I'll have to look it up. I don't know. To open it up and find out, but everyone loves Moon Knight now. Show just ended. It was awesome. But yeah, so that's that. Recent haul. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me stuff that you're looking for. Let's talk. Thanks.